Welcome to Live with Art on Fridays. Has everyone got that Friday feeling? We've had such nice weather today. It has been delightful, especially after the days we've had where it's been freezing cold. Well, it is cold, but it's at least a little bit sunny. Welcome to Live with Art. My name is Gammans and I am alternate Fridays hosting a show where I get to talk to creatives about their work, their ideas, their practice. It's kind of a really nice sort of casual space where everyone gets to enjoy, hopefully, learning a little something new about a different artist or creative and what they're doing. Today, oh my gosh, today I'm very excited. I get to talk to Heidi May, who is founder, designer, talent extraordinaire at Aesthetic Laundry, which is an inclusive, fun clothing brand. If you haven't heard about it, you should have. She's everywhere on social media. She's on Instagram, she's on Facebook, she's just find her, Aesthetic Laundry, and she is doing really, really wonderful things in the fashion industry. She's making it inclusive. She's making a safe space for people to sort of explore kind of colour in their outfits. And yeah, she is not only an incredible talent, but also the loveliest person. And I say that with real sincerity. So it's going to be a delightful chat today. I'm very excited to have her on. Heidi, is she waiting in? She is waiting. She's waiting in Instagram limbo to join. Oh my gosh. Say that Heidi has not been feeling very well today, but she is still joining me like an absolute trooper. So, hi Heidi. I was just saying,
Hello. You were
you've not
saying
been.
lovely things. Thank
Not
you.
at all. I was just saying you're not feeling too well, but you're still joining us, which just speaks volumes about your commitment and just Thank you for
Yeah.
being
So
here.
if I'm not talking if I don't seem very excited or have, it's just because I've got a bit of a headache. But I'm totally fine. It's all
Bless
good.
you. She's been giving me updates all day about how she's been doing because we weren't sure whether you were going to be able to join, but you are, and I'm so thrilled because as I said, if you haven't heard about Aesthetic Laundry, then you should have. Look it up now. In fact, listen to this chat and then look it up with the context of what we're going to be speaking about. Heidi, shall we start with a really basic question, which is, can you introduce yourself? And I've spoken a little bit about your brand, but tell us a bit about you.
Okay. So I am a fashion designer, and I pride myself on designing for all body shapes. And I grew up with body issues, and I hated the way I looked and hated my body and felt really ugly a lot, and I hated shopping. And I thought, when I grow up, I want to have my own fashion company, and I want to design for every woman, not just like one specific size. Like, I hated going to high street shops and then only the extra smalls were at the front, and then you had to like dig at the back, and then it was like if they had your size, if not, that kind of thing. And I just thought, I want to change that. And so that's what I'm trying to do with Aesthetic Laundry. So I design and we make it in-house as well. So we do everything like design, making it like in the same building, sending it out in the same building to try and keep our carbon footprint low as well. We're trying to tick every box, but it's just quite difficult when you're a teeny company.
You are teeny, but you also have an incredible team as well, which is just an incredible group of women. Is it still just women that work with you at the moment as well?
It is, and then my
just the
brother is
best.
helping part-time. So
Oh, fantastic! Well,
Leon.
he gets a shout out, Leon. Thank you for helping. But but yes, you do everything from start to finish as well, which we're going to talk about because that lends itself to talking about your carbon footprint and what you're doing environmentally with what you're doing, as well as body positivity. You mentioned that you're a designer. You design the clothes, you make the clothes, you market the clothes. You do everything with your team, which is just rare and a wonderful thing.
Even the pattern cutting at the beginning, like we do everything.
All of it. How did this come around? So you mentioned that you obviously wanted to find a brand that supported women of all shapes and sizes. What was your process into making Aesthetic Laundry what it is now?
So I always found that when I made, in my second year of university, was starting to learn how to make clothes. And then the more I learned, the more I then was experimenting and making clothes for myself. And then the more I was like, gosh, I feel really good when I make clothes, and I'm wearing the clothes that make me feel comfortable and make me feel like me. And and then I was like, so then I started, and I was known as the Facebook girl. And then I would make dresses for my friends. And I took a placement year out of uni because I couldn't afford to do any internships or anything like that. I just didn't have enough money to do that. So I did the alternative placement year, and where I could work and also gain experience. and I did a 3 months internship at a clothing company, and she was doing everything. She was a one-woman band. She was doing everything from making the clothes herself. She did have help with the seamstress and stuff, like, and then she had a shop as well. So and I was like, wow, like I could do this. So after 3 months, I was like, I'm gonna try. And then,
Love that.
I worked actually on a fruit and veg stall in Huddersfield, and then next door to that was a fabric shop, and I would go in and get like discount fabrics, go home and make a dress, wear it on a night out, and then I'd be like, follow me on Facebook and I'll make you one. And that's how it kind of started.
I love that. It's like proper grassroots from the beginning. There you go. If anyone wanted to know how to build their own business, this is a fine example of people just doing it for themselves. You really made it happen. And oh my gosh. And you kind of reap the rewards of the fruits of your labor every day when you get these wonderful messages from people I see speaking to you about inclusivity and body positivity. And this is a huge part of your brand. Can you talk a little bit more about that and why it is that you've chosen, and how also that sort of feeds its way into your brand, inclusivity?
Oh my gosh, so it's massive, because like I said earlier, I felt ostracized a lot for my body type, and I was really tall and awkward and things like that, and I just never want somebody to feel like that. And so we like work really hard with the designs and things to make sure that they work for lots of different figures. But what the biggest thing that I've learned actually, this because it's been going now for like, this is the 6th year, is oversized clothes make me feel really, really like confident and happy, and I can like basically, because it makes me feel smaller. It's really weird, but it makes me feel smaller.
It makes perfect sense.
So it makes
also me too, by the way. Oversized jumpers, like, I live in them.
But the more I talk to customers and the more feedback we get, is the more that they say, do you do fitted things, because that makes me feel more comfortable. And so now, like, aesthetic laundry is almost, I was like, wow, it's kind of like becoming bigger than me, because I used to design for just me and what made me feel good, and then other people would be like, oh, I like that, do you do it in different colors? And I was like, yes. And then in my head, I was like catering for the whole market kind of thing. But then the more that, like, I talk to customers and they give us feedback, and then we learn, like, we're all learning. Like, it's crazy. This is probably going on a tiny tangent, but it's so important, is that there are pattern cutting books for when you draft patterns and you make clothes and you design clothes for like the straighter sizes. But when you get to a 3XL, 4XL, or like the curvier sizes, there's nothing. There's literally like bespoke. And I got a pattern, the only one pattern cutting book is that I have for plus size women. All the tables are empty because they say, oh, go to a tailor. You know, it's just
oh
crazy.
My gosh, there's no blueprint for women over a certain size. Oh my gosh, no, I didn't know that.
And like, because you can be like, you can have a bigger bust, or you can have a bigger belly or a bigger bum, but you either have all three or you don't. And straight sizes, there's kind of like less tolerant, you know, there's you're kind of up and down with some
it's a bit mad that we've gotten away with that for so long, because like human beings obviously aren't like one size fits all, or even 5 sizes fits all. Like, it's a bit crazy to me that this is something that is almost a niche idea to actually find clothes that fit women's bodies. I mean, come on.
Even at university, when I got taught to draw and to illustrate fashion, we had to elongate the bodies of all of the illustrations so that they looked good and sold the clothes. And so we got this. It's the day 2 of fashion school was to elongate the body so that you can sell the clothes. And it's just like, I
mean, we don't need to be told that representations in fashion are not accurate, but it's really validating hearing it from a designer as well. I would love to talk about, we're going to talk about your sizes first, because you do 9 different sizes, which again is a fantastic thing. But I want to come back to that, because I want to talk to you about the actual aesthetic of your clothes, because this is something that is, if you could sum up Heidi in a variety of outfits, it would be her collection. They are bright, they are fun, they are inclusive, they are well made, they are quality, they are made from her own hands. Heidi, you've got some stuff in the background. I know you're wearing aesthetic laundry as well.
So this is a little fleece pinafore. So it's comfy and practical and cute. So therefore, it's like you can live in it every day and wash it and wear it. That's where the name aesthetic laundry came from. Is that if it's not on you and you're wearing it, like aesthetic, it's in your laundry basket and it looks so good. You can't wait to wash it and wear it again.
Fantastic. Love that business model.
New fleecy pinafore, and then we have the tracksuit of dreams, which is now in its 5th year. and it's still one of my favorite things in the whole entire world. I love it, like this red sweatshirt tracksuit. And
this fringing is everything. The multicolored fringing is just fantastic. Oh, yeah, no, it's fine. If someone gets a call in the middle of a chat, it sometimes goes on silent, which is no panic. But yeah, your rainbow fringing is something that is, I would say, iconic to your brand. And you do this in a variety of ways. You do the jumpers, you do t-shirts, and tracksuit bottoms and tops, and you also do these kind of shift dresses with the confetti as well, which are beautiful.
And they're from all the offcuts of the tassels. So we try and use as much of the fabric as we can. And we're actually, as we're growing, like little by little, not that we're big or anything, but as we're growing, we're learning different ways to like weave in sustainable designing. So the tassels came from trying to use as less of the waste excess fabric as possible. And it's kind of got a bit streamlined, but now we use, as we've gotten bigger, we have to prep them differently. But now, as we're cutting, for example, a fleece jumper, the offcuts, we now know, and the cutters get trained in how to use the grain line right and cut the cuffs and cut the necklines from all the offcuts as well. So we're using them constantly and trying to find different ways. It's kind of like chaotic, but it's like a beautiful chaotic mess, but it works because it means that we waste like as less fabric as possible.
I'm so glad that this is something you're thinking about as well, and you can monitor it because you are literally there from start to finish of the production process, the designing production process. Everything is you could monitor it. And I know for a fact as well, just because I know Heidi, that she also cycles to work as well. So this is something, again, your carbon footprint is very low. Your wastage is incredibly low as well. Talk to me about running the business, because you literally do it from start to finish. We've already mentioned that you work with wonderful women. What's your day-to-day like?
Day-to-day is, imagine a washing machine with like, it's like a roller coaster. So my right hand gal is Joss, and Joss and I literally couldn't do it without her. And we are, if you obviously know Joss as well, but like we are polar opposites in personality, in terms of like working, but we both have that drive and we both want to change the industry. So what we do is we go, we look at each other sometimes in the day and go, but then we both get on and do. And she basically takes over anything. Like, she talks to all the customers mostly, and she emails everybody, and she deals with all the ordering and all the processes and all of the putting it down onto the floor and making all of the team be able to sew it in a nice order. And then I basically do the other part and go, what do you need? Do you need patterns? Do you need this? Who's doing? And do all like the kind of creative stuff.
So good.
But my day starts about 6 or half 6, and I will do an hour on social media just catching up on messages, because people often ask for sizing like queries and stuff. And if that means that somebody then goes and buys and chooses us over, for example, a fast fashion outlet, then that's great. So I always feel indebted to like go back to messages as soon as possible. But it's getting more and more difficult. Like, as we grow a little bit, it's getting more and more difficult because I've just started, I'm very open about this, by the way, but like I've just started therapy, and it's amazing. And my therapist was like, so what do you do outside of like aesthetic laundry for you? And I was like,
no.
Nothing. Like it takes a lot of it does take up a lot of time, but like I love it.
Absolutely.
Trying to find that balance.
Yeah, and it's your baby as well, as we said. This is all you. So this, you're so intrinsic to every part of it, and it does become your life. I think, like most creatives, and I'm sure creatives listening will maybe agree with this, or hopefully, is that it's not just a job when you're a creative. It's who you are, and that is sometimes that makes it really wonderful, and the joy is heightened. But then also the difficulties are there as well, because it is all you, and therefore the highs and the lows are really sort of extreme sometimes. We are going to come back to also talking about therapy, because you're so open about mental health, and oh my gosh, Heidi makes everybody feel normal. She makes everybody feel included, and it's just the best thing. But I also want to talk a little bit about, before we get to that, COVID, because I know that as a small business, this must have been incredibly stressful. You've actually come out the other side now, and you're making so many new designs, 250 I think I heard, or you told me.
250 for a company of our size. We normally would be doing about 20 pieces in a collection, but because we basically changed our business model so that we never have anything on the shelf, so nothing's pre-made, so we don't have to make an educated guess. So what we do is
another call.
it never stops. And yeah, and so because we buy like rolls of fabrics, we have that specific color, like this sweatshirt red, for example, but it means that we can offer like different designs in it because nothing's made. So long as all the patterns work and it talks to each other, it makes everything difficult, but it's amazing because we end up wasting less, and we end up like, imagine if, because we're so small, we can't make every single design in every single color, so we might as well go broader. And also with sizing, it just makes it, we're able to be inclusive size wise because we don't make everything and put it on the shelf and things like that. So yeah. So
oh my gosh, so you're literally making
cheaper.
things, so you're getting an order come through and then you are literally tailoring every piece to your client. That is
It's
incredible.
like make it, so we do it in 5 days. So we receive the order, it goes on, Joss processes and puts it on a cut list depending on the color, how complicated the style is, and what day it is, and who's in, and then she feeds it through.
Oh my gosh.
Every day something goes wrong. So
that is
found leaks in the roof, like everything, but you just have to go with it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, again, inspirational. I don't know how you do it, but you are managing somehow, and it's very impressive. Your designs are really, really colourful and bright as well, which I love. But you did tell me that you had to limit yourself colour-wise because you do so many sizes. You do 250 designs. You've got 9 different sizes to accommodate all women and their body types. And then, of course, you're working with colours as well. You've got a whole kind of design process for each color, I imagine. So talk me through how you cut these. How did you choose your colors? Because colors are huge.
Choosing colors is so we have to have joint colors for everybody, but also the designer's choice colors, because I love colors so much that I end up choosing about 15, and like we just can't cope with that many colors because the team can't change all those threads, because you have to, whenever you change a garment color, you have to change the threads, and when you change the threads, it's 5 knots on each thread, pulling it through delicately through all of the spindles of the machines, and that habit, so it's super hard. So so I have to limit myself. But what I do is if I see a color and I know it's going to be in the collection, because I'll keep seeing it and take photos of it. And when I scroll through my photos on my phone, I'll go, oh, there's that blue, that blue. And I'll start picking, and I'll start sourcing like where I can get that fabric from in that color. And then I'll get like a meter of it to have a little play with. And then if I make, then I have to make something out of it and wear it and see what it's like to wear it. And then I go, Joss, look at this. And she's like, whoa, because me and Joss are so different again. Joss loves like deeper colors, and she loves blacks, whites, blue. She's quite classic, whereas I'm quite jazzy. We call me a peacock because I'm like, hello.
I love it so much. So with Joss's influence, it's kind of she's toning it down, but in the way that makes it really commercial, which is fantastic. Because I know
everyone always wants what Joss wears, and then they go, oh, Heidi, you look cool or a bit crazy, but they're like, what's Joss got on?
Oh gosh, sorry. So it's a perfect combination. You're nailing it, both of you, and it's really nice that you have that business dynamic as well with somebody that is so different, but you actually get on so well, and it's so productive, which is again really rare, and just so lovely that you work in a team of women as well. I think that's fantastic. I also want to talk about the fact that again, running a business. Incredibly difficult. If there are people out there who are thinking about starting a business, wanting to run their own business, can you offer any advice to those people, especially fashion related perhaps? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
Definitely. If you have an idea and you feel a bit nervous about it, start doing a mood board, or start talking to people about it, and the more you find yourself talking, you'll know what you get excited about, and as soon as you're excited about something, somebody else is going to be excited because you're excited. It's infectious. Then ask the questions that you don't want to hear the answer to as well. So like, you don't want everyone going, oh, do you think this is a good idea? Like, everyone likes to be patted on the back and be like, oh, well done. But like, if you have an idea and you voice it, you really need to respect the response that you get. Take it with a pinch of salt, but respect it and say, actually, because people have got your best interest at heart, and sometimes when you're so tunnel visioned as a creative as well, you think, oh my god, everyone's going to love this shocking pink with the yellow splashes, and actually
everyone knows my thoughts on pink. I mean, I'm a huge pink girl, so but I get exactly what you're saying. Really important.
So it's, and then if someone offers to help, take it, because I didn't at the beginning, and it hindered me. Like, I would be like, no, I've got it myself. I can do it myself. And then slowly but surely everything kind of falls apart because you can't do everything. So know and accept that you can't do everything yourself. because it took me too long to realise that.
Right. Well, I think that's fantastic advice, actually. Really, really good advice, and clearly it's working in your favour. So, so take note, anyone wanting to start a business. I'm sure there are many people. Joss has joined. Joss, who is now famous on this chat. Joss, we've been singing your praises. You are, you're a godsend, and I know you as well, and I know how important you are to the business. So, hello, welcome.
Joss is currently probably on hold with our fabric suppliers because they're stuck. We've got this fabric that's amazing, the amazing green fleece that everybody is loving, and it's stuck in like a lorry in Northampton. So Joss is been like this all day.
Oh no! Is this a COVID problem, or is this just a supply chain?
Apparently, the supply chain. Yeah, it's kind of like it's come after COVID, but also it's like a supply chain problem. It's like a national problem. There's a national shortage of drivers and things like that, and people to unload the vans. So it's actually in the depot, ready to be delivered. Gosh,
but that is, I mean, not great. Not
Especially
when you have the material.
Turnaround and no fabric.
Oh my gosh, Joss, I'm sorry. I hope this isn't. I hope she's just written. Hi, sorry, been on the phone chasing suppliers. Joss, we are so sorry that you have been chasing suppliers, but you're watching. Fantastic. Heidi, I want to talk a bit more about your designs and who they are for, because we've talked about inclusivity, we've talked about colour. For those of you that have just joined the chat, I am with Heidi May, who is designer, founder, CEO of Aesthetic Laundry, which is an inclusive and fun fashion brand for all women of all sizes and shapes. It's a really, really lovely, lovely brand to have watched kind of as well. I've known you for a while. Really, really come into fruition. It's just incredible what you're doing. You're huge now, and yeah, people are wearing your stuff. So let's talk about designs. So the new designs. You've got the pinafore you're wearing. Talk me through. Is this beret? Is the beret a new design?
Oh no, but apparently Janina, our new seamstress, said that the berets are doable, and we could potentially make berets one day, which is amazing. But so we do two main fabrics in our winter collection, which is the fleece and freezing outside. And and then we also do sweatshirt, and we do like a few different colors of each, and then we kind of like cross over some designs with them. But basically, like, you want to be the warmest, comfiest person in winter, and so when you can either wear we've got a bright pink fleece, which is amazing, and because I'm at home, because I've come away from the studio because of all the cutting and the noise and everything, because I wasn't feeling well this morning, but I would show you all the different colors. But we have like lilac, and we have hot pink, but we also have black and dark green, so we've got like a really good balance this time. And we do have confetti joggers, which both my pairs are in the wash, but I love them so much, and I basically made them out of COVID. And so my designs are very much usually designed for my mood. And I felt actually really rubbish during COVID and after COVID. I really didn't cope very well mentally. And so I made myself some confetti joggers, because I was like, if I'm sat at home and every time I looked down, I was like, oh, I feel really fun, or like, oh, that's quite cute.
You wanted to be in something that made you feel good. That's so lovely.
So that's where the idea came from. And then the more I wore them, people were like, oh my God, fun. I want some of those. And I was like, I think these are going to be in the collection.
And what we mean by confetti joggers, just for clarification. So the confetti, which we were speaking about earlier, is the waste material, or the offcuts of material that you are using. Oh no, these are the confetti joggers.
The offcut. No,
it is the offcuts.
When we make our
right, great.
Like classic design.
And they look like confetti on the material. They literally look like somebody has thrown colourful confetti on you. And it's just kind of, they're stunning. They're beautiful. And I know they're incredibly popular because I've seen many people modelling them on your website. So wait, we covered all your new autumn winter 2021-22 designs. Are there any more?
Yes. Off the top of my head, there is a couple more that we couldn't squeeze in because we needed to wait for the front trouser, but we can't talk about those just yet. But yes. Okay. And you mentioned quickly about COVID like a little while ago, and honestly, we are so grateful to every single one of our customers for still being. We nearly went under in COVID, like everybody knows now. We were honestly like working every hour, all socially distancing. Our capacity was like at 0, and it's just amazing that we're still here. So we're just still so happy to be here, basically, and still doing what we do. But
absolutely.
It was, cycling with orders to the post office, and then cycling back to the studio with fabrics that we had washed. It was just crazy.
Goodness me. I think, I mean, I'm sure this is really resonating with people listening, about small businesses. Everyone was affected in different ways. Small businesses really specifically and particularly, so that I'm sure that that hasn't been just your experience, but I know for a fact that it was really difficult, and you've come through the other end with 250 new designs, 9 different sizes for people, and just and such an incredible attitude, which again is what Heidi's really known for. She shares kind of so much of herself, which is so generous for people listening and watching, and as I said, makes us all feel really validated and normal. Your designs on your website, your models, not conventional models, in the best way. And I'm talking that you have so many beautiful, gorgeous women of different shapes and sizes modeling your clothes. So is that who your clothes are for?
Yes. So we don't use, now we like to take, we have took like this like kind of stances to not use professional models. And professional models are incredible, and it is so difficult to model. It really is, because first-hand experience, Joss and I do a lot of the modeling first of all when we get all of the designs up, because we're in-house all the time, and we put all of our money and financial resources into the making team. So then me and Joss usually have to model, and we're like, I'll speak on behalf of Joss, but we're not the most easy, you know, Joss is much better at posing than I am, but it's quite awkward or whatever. But we have a fit guide, which we're a little bit behind on this season, but we have done a few of the shoots already. And we want to show every single garment on every body size. So it's not just everyone on a size 0 or size medium, or so we have ranging from extra small to 5XL, and then we have women of all different sizes, and with the hope to over the, like, you know, the next of the season we will get more and more like street style images, and we'll do more photo shoots, and then people can join in, and we're trying to find this like not holistic is a weird word, but like we're trying to find a way of, like, we might be doing it on Pinterest where everybody puts all their images, and it's like an image bank for your size, because so many people are we all come in shapes and sizes. So we're trying to do something clever, but we just want to show everybody.
I love that. We
want somebody to be able to come to the website and see themselves, or see somebody who looks kind of like them, shape-wise. But yeah, so we are, so
fantastic
with everyone in every size. Yeah.
This is what I mean when I said I introduced Heidi. If you just joined, welcome. Heidi, aesthetic laundry founder, designer, extraordinaire. But the main thing I love about your brand, besides just that it's such gorgeous and good quality stuff, is that you are so inclusive, and that is really rare. And all these things are kind of made from your experience of kind of having body issues, I would say. But I also think it's strange saying that, because I think we all have body issues on a spectrum. I wouldn't say they're issues. I think it's just the way society often makes us feel like we don't fit in, or we're not normal, and it's, you know, it's a really big thing for a lot of people, and women particularly. You're incredibly open about not only that, your kind of the way you sort of experience being in your body and all of those kind of issues that come with that, and also your mental health. So I'd love to talk about social media and the way that you interact with your clients in regards to that, because that's fantastic.
If you've met me in person, or like now, I guess, or on video, but you'll know that I have no filter, and sometimes it's a blessing and a curse. But when I'm down, you see that I'm down, or when I'm excited, you see that I'm excited. And I think the only way to be real and to get across why I'm doing something, or why you're doing something, is to be genuine. And you can't be happy all the time, and you can't be okay and firing all cylinders all of the time. And we show that our clothes are for normal people and for everyone. So then I try and be as normal as possible, and I just want to make people feel comfortable. And often when you share a story of like, then somebody feels better about or someone has a story as well, and we have this like really nice community where someone will be like, oh my god, I used to feel like that in high school because of X, Y, and Z, and then you start, and it just makes you feel like less alone. But I used to hide away, and before, because I'm old enough to know what it's like to live without social media, back when I was a teenager. But now, and I never used to talk to anybody. I just bottled it all up, and I felt so bad for so much of my early, like my teenage life. So I think, what's the worst that can happen if you tell someone, like, sharing is caring, kind of thing. And I think if I had somebody, my younger cousins, the 2 girls, they they suffer with their mental health, and then sometimes when I talk about it, they tell me when I see them, and they go, "Whoa, like you feel like that," and that made me feel much more normal. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's really I'm so glad," because for me, I don't mind putting myself out there and looking silly. I don't really mind, so long as it So, but sometimes I do overshare a lot, but then the more tired I get, the more overshare I get. But yeah, it kind of like to show a human side, really.
I think it's such a gift to be that honest online. I really do, because I found that myself whenever I've sort of read something or heard something and it resonates with me. It does make you feel so much better. Just as a sort of as I said, you feel validated, you feel less alone, and it's just a really nice community space that you've built. I think you've built a really lovely, safe place on your in your brand, within your brand, and for your clients and online, which is just really lovely. And if you aren't following Aesthetic Laundry, then please do, because there's just feel good stuff on there all the time. And you will definitely end up buying something from her, because her clothes are just gorgeous. You've mentioned your clients as being a huge part of your business, and I know that you do personally get back to every single person. So I'd love to speak a bit more about that, and I know you've touched upon it a little bit, but yeah, what is the relationship with your clients, and why is it so important?
Sometimes I will literally be in the middle of dinner, and they'll ask me, or like I'll be eating my tea, and I'll be like, someone will ask something like, "Oh my God, do you have the measurements for X, Y, and Z?" And I'm like, I'm literally, if I see it and accidentally open it, and then I don't respond straight away, it means that they get lost in the directness in the DMs, because the next time I go into Instagram, like 10 minutes later or whatever, there'll be another 15 messages. So like they get lost very quickly. And so I'm like, it's amazing. But so I'm like, and I literally find myself sending pictures and be like, I'm literally eating my tea. Give me 10 minutes and I'll come back to you. And then when they reply going, "Oh, okay, cool," then it's like another reminder for me to like go back to them. But yeah, I just want to help everyone all the time. But some people just want to chat. And I love that. And I love that people want to talk about clothes, or they want to talk about how their order makes them feel. And I think that's the coolest thing to hear. Like it's so nice. So we're always chatting with our customers, always. And if I see someone's new, I'm always like, "Hi, like I'm Heidi," or Joss and I will always like hop in and say who's talking, and very quickly you get to know who Joss and I are.
And as you said, set very, very different but equally incredibly important roles that you both play as a partnership, which is so lovely as well. Heidi, I am so grateful that you have spoken to me today. I feel like we've covered the basics. There's so much more to know about you and your brand, but we've covered the basics of the fact that you are an inclusive, fun brand with just the most gorgeous set of staff. You're incredibly body positive, which is so important. You yourself, you've created a safe space online. You like to share your experiences. I just think as a creative, you are just exemplary in so many different ways, and I just really love what you do. And I do hope that, as I said, people go onto Aesthetic Laundry. If they're not following you already, then definitely do that. And yeah, thank you. And you had a headache. You had a terrible headache today, which I said at the beginning. She still came on and spoke to me, because she's a trooper and a hard worker. Heidi, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me, Anna.
Not at all. So Heidi, that is from Aesthetic Laundry. Everyone, some people watching this kind of a bit later, will have seen this, and definitely go and look at what she's up to. If you are an artist watching, and potentially wanting to have a little chat with me about what you're up to in your creative practice, then I would absolutely love to hear from you. You can message me on Instagram, and I really hope that I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the chat, and and thank you so much for watching Live with Art. We have been, as the name suggests, live with art. Thank you so much. I'm Anna Gammans, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.